Hello guys, what's up? This is Christopher from CMM with another quick and dirty episode, and this one is about the Vernee Thor E, which I just published the unboxing video of. Now you might wonder why there already is a quick and dirty episode about this phone if the unboxing has just been published. Well, a lot of people like me to talk in the unboxing videos, which I'm actually not doing. I just play music to get a quick impression from the device. But to serve the needs of those viewers who want to hear something about the device, some first impressions and that stuff, I decided to do a quick and dirty episode right after unboxing. And if you guys like this, just give a thumbs up or drop a comment, and I will keep it this way then for future review devices. So let's get into the Vernee Thor E, which actually looks decent but does feel a little cheap. I was a bit disappointed because on the promotional pictures it looked like this would be a full metal body, but actually it's not. It's just a very thin brushed metal rear, and not even the whole rear is made from metal, as you can see here. So the most parts of the body are actually made from plastic, which does make it extremely light considering it has a 5000 milliamps battery, or at least that's what they advertise, but also makes it feel a little cheap. And it also has some flex to it, as you can see here. It's fairly easy to bend this phone. This probably won't be an issue. It's still pretty sturdy, but you can definitely bend it a little bit when applying pressure onto the body. So well, first impressions, actually the most amazing thing I noticed about the Vernee Thor E right now is its fingerprint scanner. It's extremely fast. Just look at this. I tap it and it unlocks kinda instantly. This is just insane. Definitely one of the fastest, or if not the fastest, fingerprint scanner I have seen on a budget smartphone to date, so that's pretty much amazing. So screen quality is kinda average. Colors look a little bit dark, I think. Maybe not as realistic as they should be, but it still is a decent screen, and well, picture looks sharp. Contrast is nice. Brightness is pretty good, it looks. It isn't too easy to read it outside, but it's still acceptable. Viewing angles are okay as well, and it is of course a fully laminated display, at least it looks like it. Operating system is very nice, despite this phone being based on the good old MT6753 SoC. We have Android N running on here with split screen and all that stuff. And the performance is actually quite snappy as long as you don't run any very demanding apps or many of them at the same time. And split screen does work very nice too. And the the touch screen works pretty nice as well. It has good reaction times. Typing on the screen isn't a problem even when doing it fast, and it's also very precise. And yeah, overall for the price it's a decent touchscreen. Now what I like is that Vernee finally used their own custom ROM on this phone. So they did promise Vernee OS quite a while ago, and actually the Vernee Apollo X was supposed to run Vernee OS out of the box. I don't have an Apollo X myself right now, but I've heard from other reviewers that actually there's just a normal Android on this. Now on the Vernee Thor E, actually they, for the very first time, they use Vernee OS, which you can see here. So basically they're doing something similar like OnePlus do. They do their own custom ROM, but it's very close to stock Android. They just add some of their own features. For example, this... Which phone was that? Whatever. For example, the battery icon here can be changed and all that stuff. Let's just have a look at that. For example, here, buttons. Here you have some special features where you can press the power button twice to open up the camera. Press the power button to end a call. You can enable on-screen navigation bar if you want to Now if you prefer this over the retouch button speed or the screen, you can make you can swap the resend and back buttons down here. So you don't have back on this button, but have the resend feature on this button. What else do we have? We have motion gestures and quite a lot of them. Flip to mute, screenshot, double tap to wake up. This actually works well, as you can see. So yeah, they added quite a few features. It's nothing new, right? But it's still nice to have, and especially the changeable battery icon is pretty neat, and the ability to show the battery percentage on it. So yeah, I'm sure they can get out more of this with time, but it's a good start, I think. Now, what I'm not happy with is that the Vernee Thor E only comes with 16 GB of storage, so I throw in a micro SD card with 128 GB and merged it with the internal memory. And also the RAM is, well, relatively small. 3 GB is okay, but today we are used to having 4 GB at least, so yeah. It's kind of small, it's not really small. What I dislike a little, I haven't done much benchmarks yet, but I did run some memory tests, and actually those aren't too good. 3.2 GB per second of throughput for the RAM is okay, but yeah, it could do better. Like LPDDR3 RAM, which is used here, could easily reach 5 GB per second or even 7 GB per second if perfectly optimized. Obviously this is not the case here, and also the internal memory is kind of slow. The reading speed of 82 MB per second is kind of on the borderline to bad, and writing speed of 44 MB per second isn't too good either. SD card reading and writing speeds aren't very good as well. My 128 GB card usually can reach around 70 MB per second of reading speed and 50 to 60 MB per second of writing speed. Well, as you can see, the results here are much slower, so the SD slot isn't the fastest in here, but that's something that is typical for such cheaper Chinese phones. Now, reception quality appears to be good on this phone. Of course, I haven't been able to do many tests with it, but you know, here in this room, phones usually struggle to get a decent 3G connection, but as you can see, this phone doesn't seem to have an issue with it, and Wi-Fi also looks good. Of course, the router right now is right behind me, but if I move through the house, there are no signal losses or stuff like that. I haven't done a speed test on it yet. What's kind of disturbing is that Google Fit doesn't really work well on the Vernee Thor E. So here you can see that I drove quite a huge distance already, but it still displays 0 kilometers per hour, and the average speed is also at 0. So yeah, same bug as on the Humidigi C Note, as on the Humidigi Z, and many other Chinese phones recently. This is really annoying. I don't know why they all have issues with Google Fit. Other tracking applications actually do work like a charm. I don't know what's causing this, but as I said, GPS isn't the best on here. It's usable, but it isn't very accurate, which you can see here. As you can see, it left the track here a little bit in the curve, and yeah, it generally struggles with curves. It always leaves the track there. Also here you see that. So yeah, they definitely need to optimize the GPS a little bit. Regarding camera quality, I have done some quick sample shots, but nothing properly right now, so I can't tell you much about the camera quality. But it does look kind of medium to average quality. It seems to struggle with direct light a little bit. As you can see, when the sun is shining directly onto the into the lens, pictures do look washed out. And here you can see this again. So yeah, this is where the camera definitely struggles, but macro shots look okay. Nice amount of detail, sharpness looks good. Colors might not be that realistic, but they are close. Yeah, let's see how the camera performs in real life testing, and maybe there will be some update. There already was one after unpacking it, but maybe there will be another one which addresses some of the or optimizes the camera a little bit. So yeah, so much for the first impressions. Oh no, actually I have one more thing to tell you, and that is the speaker here on the rear. It looks pretty huge, but don't let yourself fool by this. It actually doesn't sound very good. It's very flat and tinny. It doesn't distort surprisingly, but volume isn't too high either. So yeah, definitely not a good speaker in there. I have listened to some tracks with it, but it wasn't much fun. So yeah, we have seen cheap devices with great speakers already, so I don't know why Vernee put such a crappy speaker inside of there. Regarding the headphone jack, I can't tell you anything right now. I haven't tested it yet. So yeah, that's for the first impressions about the Vernee Thor E. I have kind of mixed feelings about it. Battery life seems great, huge battery. Weight is very low, but it feels a little cheap, and camera probably could be better. GPS seems to suck a bit. Yeah, so let's see how it does in real life. So stay tuned for the performance demo, camera samples, and of course the full review. So thanks for watching, bye and see you then.